Hello, my name is Alex. I'm a patchwork nerd and I am coming at you from one of the bookshelves in my house because today we are going to be talking about my July TBR pile. For those of you who aren't familiar, TBR stands for To Be Read, and this month kind of unintentionally have a bit of a theme going because all the books that I am going to be reading this month are sequels. So July is going to be sequel month and it's going to be super epic and hopefully I can read more than one book. I'm trying not to be too ambitious, but I'm being slightly ambitious because I'm also doing Camp NaNoWriMo this month, which is National Novel Writing Month in July, and I am trying to pretty much finish my novel, so we'll see how well these reading goals go. I might be stabbing myself in the foot, but that's okay! The first book that I am going to be reading this month, I actually started a couple weeks ago, but I'm not that far in, so I'm still gonna count it as part of my July TBR because I want to finish it this month, and that book is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the sequel to Caraval, which tells the story of two sisters who embark upon this super epic quest to attend Caraval, which is this mysterious nightly event that goes on where you have to follow clues to get to an end goal. There's a person named Legend who is the game master and creates everything, and you don't know what's real and what's not, and it's super dramatic and beautiful, and I loved the visuals so much in Caraval that it inspired me so much as a writer, and I have to read Legendary. The first book follows Scarlet, which is the more uptight, timid sister, and I totally relate to Scarlet, and the second book is actually told from the perspective of her sister Tella, or Donatella, who is the more fun and rambunctious and tell it like it is sister, and I relate to this book so much. I love reading these two perspectives between these two sisters, and I am so far absolutely loving reading from Donatella's perspective, so I cannot wait to finish Legendary and tell you guys how I feel about it. The next book has actually been out for several months and I bought it a while ago, but I was in the middle of reading a couple other books and I just kind of forgot about how much I loved the first book and was ready and willing to go jumping into the second book, and that book is One Darkthrone, the sequel to Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. Apologies if I'm saying that name incorrectly. I'm notorious for saying names incorrectly, but I try really hard to get them right. And this is the story of a kingdom where every queen gives birth to daughters, triplets, and the main goal is once they come of age, they have to battle it out and only one sister will survive to rule the throne. And it follows three sisters and they each have special magical gifts. One is an elemental, so she can control the elements. There is one sister that is a naturalist and has an animal companion, and then there is another sister who is a poisoner and she has the ability to withstand strong amounts of poison and survive. So the main goal is for these sisters to enter into this tournament that lasts for an entire year and see who comes out alive to be the new queen. The book definitely left a lot of things on cliffhangers, so I'm so thrilled to dive back into this world, and it's so difficult because as soon as you start growing attached to one sister and thinking, okay, I want her to make it, I want her to be queen, the book changes perspectives to the other sisters, and then you feel this huge tug of war between these three sisters and wanting to see all of them succeed because they all are such strong women and they all have such compelling stories and such compelling reasons why they should be queen and why they deserve to make it through. And I just want everybody to survive. Like, if that could just be some sort of solution, if everybody could just make it, that'd be great, because that would be preferred. So this book is following now that the tournament has begun and seeing who is going to come out on top, and I am so excited to see what happens. And the third book, yes, this is a pretty tiny TBR pile compared to a lot of people, but again, doing Camp NaNoWriMo, trying to be somewhat realistic, and this still might not be a very realistic goal. And the third book I'm going to be reading is Court of Shadows by Madeline Rowe? Again, name pronouncing, not my strong point, but this is the sequel to House of Furies, and that was the story of a girl who has kind of unwillingly ended up in a house that is owned by the devil, and this is where he lures bad people to meet their final judgment, and it is just this spooky atmospheric book that I absolutely adored because the writing was strong, the details were rich, and the characters were so interesting, and I wanted to follow their stories. And this next book is following Louisa as she is still in this house and finding her role as kind of being an assistant to the devil, as well as this huge coming of age story. There is so much more to her than meets the eye, and a lot of those things she discovered right at the end of House of Furies. So I'm very excited to see how she deals with all of these new challenges and how she deals with her role in something that is somewhat morally questionable. Really morally questionable. It is a super spooky atmosphere, and I am so ready to read something like this because it'll be a good way to jump into fall reading, where I pretty much like to read just horror and very atmospheric books, and I need to get my spooky fix a little bit during the summer, just a little bit. That is a look at the books that I am going to be reading for the month of July, and I would love if you guys in the comments below could tell me about the books you plan on reading. Have you been reading sequels lately, or is there other books that have been catching your attention? I know there's definitely some self-help books that I want to get to on my TBR pile, as well as some fiction and non-fiction books, and my book pile is just so big, as well as I write horror, so there's a lot of books in the horror genre that I want to take a look at, and I want to make sure I read to understand my craft better, and it just doesn't feel like there's enough hours in the day. So also, if you guys have any tips for how to better organize yourself so that you can get more reading done, or finding ways to sneak in reading throughout your day, I would love to learn more about that, so feel free to leave that in the comments down below as well. And also, congratulations and happy Camp NaNoWriMo to all those participating. I wish you guys all wonderful words and speed and grace and magicalness to make sure that we can get through this month, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And just so you guys know, I have a desk tour coming very soon, but if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, please feel free to leave those in the comments down below as well. And if you are new to my channel, please hit that happy little subscribe button. That really helps me out. We just got to 800 subscribers. Holy crap. I feel like we just got to 600, and then 700 snuck up on me and I didn't even have time to celebrate that. And then we're at 8. Where are you guys coming from? I am just so excited to have all of you here to follow my journey and to hang out with me, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm diversifying my content, so we're not just talking about writing, but we're talking about books and art and creation, and I have so many ideas for things that I want to do. But if you guys have any suggestions of videos you'd like to see, please again leave those in the comments down below. And also join me every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for Writer's Patch. That is the writing chat I host over on Twitter. You can follow me at PatchworkNerd, and if you guys have any questions or comments, again, leave them in the comments down below. Give this video a like, and there's about a million other things I could tell you to do, but you're an adult, you can figure it out. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and as always, keep writing, keep laughing, and most importantly, keep encouraging each other. I will see you next time. Toodles!